Well, happy Tuesday and happy Halloween and welcome to VA Careers Live. My name is Mike Owens and I'm a national recruiter with the Veterans Health Administration, as well as your host for our weekly segment, Talk About It Tuesday. If you're tuning in for the first time, I just want to let you know that we are here every Tuesday. That's right, every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. So feel free to grab a drink, grab something to eat, and join us as we talk about careers here at VA. Now, with that, if you've been here like I said, if you're tuning in for the first time or you have been here for the whole 3 years, we want you to be part of the conversation. But first, I want to say thank you. You know, we all have things to do. We're all busy this time of the day. So I do appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch our broadcast, whether you're watching for the first time today, or again, if you've been watching for a few weeks, for a few months, or maybe for a couple of years, I want to extend my thanks. And I want to say thank you for watching us every week. But we do want you to be part of the conversation. So as I say every week, never be shy. Don't feel like you just have to listen. If you have something that you want us to know, or maybe you have some knowledge that you would like to share with everyone else that's watching, you may even want to share with me, go ahead and put that in the comment section. As you know, our team and I, we like to go through those questions throughout the day and throughout the week to make sure that all your questions are answered and all your comments are addressed. And some of your questions may be featured on some Talk About It Tuesday episodes. Normally when we do our Q&A session at the end of each episode. So again, don't be shy. If there's something you would like us to know, or if there's something you would like anyone in the audience who's watching, be sure to go ahead and put that in the comment section. But again, we all know someone who wants to work here at VA. So again, don't hold all this information to yourself. Let's share it to everyone in the world. So with that being said, we would like for you to hit the share button. So I'm going to say the word please. We would like you to please hit the share button. We have 2 hashtags that are associated with this broadcast. One is #WorkAtVA. Again, #WorkAtVA. And the second hashtag is #VA Careers. Again, #VA Careers. Click that share button. Go ahead and drop those hashtags in the right before you hit send, and go ahead and hit the share button. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. So with that being said, everyone knows today is Halloween. So for those out there who tend to partake in the Halloween holiday, the question of the day falls around this holiday. So I have actually 2-part question. So what, if you're dressing up today, or if you dressed up in the past, what is your favorite Halloween costume? Either one that you've worn in the past or one that you may be wearing this year. What would you say is your favorite Halloween costume? And part 2 to that question is, what is your favorite scary movie? So again, what is your favorite scary movie? So I will say in the past, when I was a teenager, my favorite Halloween, we had kind of a makeshift haunted house when I was a teenager, and I was the head that was on the salad platter. So when you took the platter off, my head was there versus whatever was supposed to be there. So I was that as a teenager. My favorite scary movie is the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I'm a very big Freddy Krueger fan. I like all of his movies. I don't find him scary though. I mean, as I gotten older, Freddy is more hilarious than he is scary these days. But if I had to say what's my favorite scary movie, it would be the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So with that being said, in the comment section today, the 2-part question of the day is, what is your favorite Halloween costume? Whether it's something that you're wearing this year or something that you've worn in the past. And what is your favorite scary movie? So again, with the spirit of Halloween, just want to kind of see what you guys have and what type of Halloween spirit you guys are in. So with that being said, we're going to go into our topic of the day. So today we're going to talk about just some tips for those who are just graduating college, whether you are new to the workforce or you were in the workforce and you went to school and you decided to get your education, as you were older. But for those new graduates out there, or maybe those who are about to graduate, some tips that help you in the workforce as you're trying to find that first job right outside of college. So I know a lot of times we kind of center our conversation about those that are already in the career field, or those that are already in, that are already on jobs. They have a lot of work experience. They're in the workforce. They've been in the workforce for years. So we want to talk to those maybe who have not been in the workforce yet. You decided to go to college and now you're almost graduating, or you've just graduated. And you're trying to say, well, how can I get with the VA? What are some tips to help me get into the VA? So that's the group we're talking about today. But as always, if you're not in that category, let's say you've been out of college for a few years, or you've been in the workforce, and you just don't leave the conversation, because there's always something that you can grab from the conversation that can help you, no matter what part of life you're in, whether you're just going to college, whether you're just graduating, whether you've graduated years ago and you're just, looking for career advice. Stick it around. No matter what part of life you're in, this information will help. So again, today we're going to be talking specifically to those who are either getting ready to graduate college, or those who have just graduated college and they're trying to get their foot into the workforce. So for those who are still in college, I would tell you to prepare now. All right. I would tell you to go attend job fairs, go to networking events, try some internships, but if you're in college right now and you're watching this program, don't wait until you get your degree, or don't wait till graduation to be like, okay, now I need to do stuff to help me get a job. No, every little thing you do while you're in college can help you land your next job once you graduate college. Again, do some networking events. I know a lot of times we're in the age of a virtual world where we do everything virtually, but you know what? Sometimes old-fashioned face-to-face stuff can really work. So if the VA in your town is holding a job fair or holding a career fair, and they actually have a career fair where you can actually go to the VA center, I would say go and go there, handshake, talk to people face-to-face, bringing your resume, especially for those who have work experience prior to going to college. But bring your resume, try to get an idea of what you need to be able to land a job at that local VA. And go there and just network, The next thing I would do is every VA hospital, if you have a VA hospital in the city where you're at college or in the city where you're living, most VA medical centers have a voluntary service. What voluntary service is, it's a department just for those who want to come volunteer. Each VA has volunteer specialists that when you submit when you go online and submit your name to want to be a volunteer, they'll contact you. They'll bring you in. You will onboard just like an employee. You will get a background check done. You'll get credentials. And then once everything comes back, you're clear, then that voluntary service specialist that works at that medical center will place you in the department, and you'll be able to work volunteer at a VA facility. So with that being said, if you've never been to a VA facility and you want to work at a VA facility, especially one that's in your town, I would say if you're in college, go ahead and volunteer. College students, that's a great program for college students. And it's a great program for any adult that's just trying to get into the VA system. Go and volunteer, because if you're in the medical center, you have credentials, you're volunteering there, you're going to meet lots of people from different departments, and you never know. At one point, your application may come across one of those hiring managers' desks that you were able to network with while you're volunteering. So again, make sure you volunteer. Make sure you go to networking events. Don't do everything virtual. I know, again, I realize that we are in the virtual world, and I know you're probably saying, Mike, well, you're talking to us virtually right now. And I get that. I can sound like a hypocrite, but I would say that old-fashioned face-to-face networking and career fairs are the way to go. You'll get more personable alliances if you are going to face-to-face events versus always relying on doing things virtually. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're just talking about different ways, or we're just talking about some tips that can help those that are just graduating college, or those that may be graduating college soon, on how to land their first job at the VA. So the next thing is your resume. No matter whether you're in college, you're just graduating, or you've been in the workforce for 20, 30 years, everybody needs to have a resume. So the first thing you should do is make sure that you have a resume, and make sure you have a good resume, all right? If you have work experience, and again, I know some of us, we didn't go to college right outside of high school. Some of us went to the military. Some of us started just working in the workforce right out of high school. And so we went to college later in life. So if that's you, you have a lot of work experience that you already have. Make sure you use that work experience that you have, put that in your resume, and also add your college education that you may be pursuing or have just pursued and finished. Make sure you add that to your resume. But if you are someone who went to college right out of high school and you may not have much work experience, all right, you have what's called soft skills, all right? Soft skills are those, organizational skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, work ethic. You can put that inside of your resume. And then you have what's called hard skills. Hard skills may be like how your writing skills, how your computer skills. Are you efficient with Microsoft Suite? Are you good with Excel? Are you good with PDFs? Are you good with public speaking? How many languages do you speak? If you speak different languages, because believe it or not, with the way the country is set up, you have a lot of federal jobs that are looking for those who speak specific languages. I know down here in the South, you may see some jobs here that are looking for folks that can speak Spanish. And if you're bilingual, whether it's Spanish or whatever it may be, Arabic, whatever it may be, having that one skill can help sometimes propel you to the top of the line. Because if you work at a VA facility, you're trying to find a job at a VA facility that's near, that has a very high Hispanic veteran population, then guess what? Speaking Spanish can be the thing that helps you get the job, because if the veteran population there is highly Hispanic, then guess what? They're going to want people that know how to speak Spanish. So those type of skills, again, make sure you put those in your resume. Any type of volunteering and internships. I know a lot of times we think, okay, our resume should only include things that we get paid for. I would say include the things you don't get paid for. Now, I do realize that some internships are paid. But whether your internship is paid or not, I would say put that on your resume and highlight the things that you did during that internship. Make sure you highlight the skills that you had going in. Make sure you highlight the skills that you learned during that internship, and make sure you tell us everything that you've done while you're in an internship. Same thing with volunteering. I know volunteering is another experience that's not paid, but sometimes we do some awesome things when we're volunteering. I know we focus on things that we've got paid for, but guess what? A lot of people do some awesome things when they're volunteering, and you have to make sure that you highlight that in your resume, because those skills that you use or those skills that you picked up while you're volunteering, guess what? Those could be the same exact skills that'll propel you over the finish line and get your first job here at the VA. All right. And again, make sure your education. All right. Again, if you're in college or you just graduated college, make sure you highlight your education, any awards that you've gotten. Especially if your education is relevant to the job that you're applying for here at VA. Make sure that your education is highlighted. Make sure we know what type of degree you've gotten. Make sure we know what school you've gone to. Make sure you have transcripts. Make sure if you got any awards or if you were on the dean's list, whatever you accomplished while you were in college, that's a positive. Make sure that you put that on your resume. Okay. All right. The next thing I would say is, start, I know a lot of times we figure, okay, I'm just graduating college and I don't really have any skills because all I did was go to school my whole life. I went to elementary school, junior high, high school. Now I went straight to college, and now I need to find a job, but I don't really have any skills. But you do have a lot of skills. You've picked up a lot of skills while you're in college. Some of you held jobs outside of while you were working. Some of you were working while you're in college, or make sure you may have been doing a work study. Or some of us, we got jobs while we were in college. I know I was in the military while I was in college. So, but any type of skills that you picked up, any type of skills that you may have picked up on your own, maybe, while you were in college, you became an expert at all the Microsoft programs. Maybe you got, you're good with Excel. Maybe you're good with, especially with Excel. Excel is a good one. If you're good with Excel, you can do almost anything. You're good with PDFs. You're good with Adobe. You're good with Photoshop. You're good with video editing, photo editing, taking pictures. There is a public affairs section in the VA, And those skills, those skills or hobbies that you think really don't matter in the workforce, those skills, again, can be something that can help you get your first job at the VA. So just think about everything that you've done in life, everything that you've kind of mastered, even if it wasn't at a job or at an internship or while you were volunteering, skills that you might have done as a hobby. Make sure that you put that in your resume. And those skills, again, can help you possibly get your first job here at VA. So my biggest thing for those that are coming out of, for those who are coming out of college that don't have any specific work experience when it comes to like working, you know, maybe for a major corporation or something, and you're trying to work at VA, again, figure out first of all, use your degree, figure out the skills that you learned while you were in college, whether it was during internships or volunteering, work study, and also make sure you highlight those skills that you've learned during your personal hobbies. We all have hobbies, okay? The next thing I would say is make yourself, you know, be flexible. All right, be flexible. So I understand a lot of us, we got out of college and we may have a specific degree, and we may say, you know what, I want to go in this career field. This is the career field I went to college for, and this is what I want to go into. I would say that be flexible. Sometimes that first job that you may get out of college may not be in that specific career field that you want to go in, but it can be a stepping stone, especially here at the VA. A lot of us that started off at the VA, we started off in stepping stone positions. We started off in a position that we really didn't have any experience in, but it was an entry-level position, so we were able to kind of gain some skills. And then we were eventually able to move over into the career field that we want to be in. And so what I'm saying is that I'm not saying settle. I'm not saying settle for less than what you want. I'm just saying you have to be flexible sometimes. Some people get lucky and they're able to go right into that career field within the VA right outside of college. Maybe they find an internship with the technical career field program that the VA has, or maybe they apply for a job that was looking for graduate students or students or recent students, and you were lucky enough to get into that. But for those who are not, don't give up. But I would say be flexible, and maybe you have to come in through another door. You want to go in through this door, but maybe you come in through this door and kind of eventually veer back into your original career field. So again, I would say be flexible. A lot of times we miss out on opportunities because we're so tunnel vision. We're like, I want this, but you don't realize that sometimes there are different roads to the same destination. And I had to figure that out when I came into the VA. I didn't come into a position that I was familiar with, but I know, I told myself, you know what, I do this and then I can eventually work over into where I want to be. And here I am today. So again, I will always say be flexible and be flexible. My next thing is, if you want to work for VA, make sure that you follow VA on all our social media sites. Follow VA on Twitter, follow VA Department of Veterans Affairs, VA Careers on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Make sure you have a LinkedIn profile and connect with those that work for the VA. The good thing about LinkedIn is that if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can go into the search engine. You can type in Department of Veterans Affairs, and when you get when you get the results, you can click on people, and it'll show you a lot of people that work for the VA. And you can also and while you're doing that, search for people that are in the career field here at VA that you want to go in, and go follow, go like those people, go connect with those people, go follow those people. And maybe you can get some, if they're not a hiring manager, you can get some advice on how did they get to where you want to be. And maybe they can give you some advice, give you some tips. Maybe they can introduce you to someone. But remember, use your LinkedIn to yourself. So I would say, and I still do it as a VA employee already. I'll go and search Department of Veterans Affairs. I'll click on people, and it'll show me a plethora of people that are on LinkedIn who work for the VA. And if it's someone that's in the career field that I'm currently in, or personnel that are in the career field that I want to be in, I'll just go and follow those people. I'll click on Let's Connect. And guess what? I have a lot of people that I've connected with, and then I can ask them different questions. So I would say do that. Anybody, even if you're not a recent graduate and you've been in the workforce and you want to work here at VA, or even if you're a VA employee that's watching me now and you eventually want to move into another department, I would say go follow as many people on LinkedIn that work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. And I would say just, go ahead and follow them and connect with people and ask questions. All right. So my last thing that I want to do is the last thing I want to talk about. So if you're just tuning in today, we're talking about tips for those who are just graduating college and they want to land their first job here at VA. So we're talking about that. As always, if you've tuned in the middle of the conversation or towards the end, you can always come back and watch our interview or watch this whole program in its entirety after we close out today. So, but my last tip that I have for those who are, and this is for anybody, but specifically for those who are graduating out of, who just graduated, learn how to become a good interviewee. All right. So after your resume, the next time you will be able to sell yourself is when you land an interview. And if you have no idea on how to interview well, you will flunk. And the worst feeling is to be highly qualified for a position, the most highly qualified candidate, but you don't get the job because you did not do well on the interview. So I would say find practice questions. Make sure if you're applying for a job, you review the job announcement. Don't go in there. Don't go to an interview without knowing that job announcement front to back. All right. Make sure you have references. Always be positive and practice interview questions. And you don't have to do it to yourself. Have someone interview you. We all have friends. We all have family. Find someone that's a trusted friend, trusted family member. Let them help you interview, because again, you can have the credentials on your resume and those credentials can show that you're the most highly qualified candidate. But if you tank the interview, most likely you won't get hired. And so please, after your resume, the interview is probably the next most critical part of the application process, is being able to clearly articulate with your own voice that you're the best candidate for the job. You've already done it. If you've got the interview, you've already done it on your resume. You were already clearly able to write a resume, create a resume, and clearly articulate that you're a quality candidate. But now during the interview, you have to do it with your own words, your own voice, your own personality, your own character. You have to now convey that to the hiring manager. So I would say practice interview skills. Look up practice questions, research any job announcemos that you're planning to apply for, learn a lot about the career field that you're trying to go into, learn a lot about the VA. Make sure because eventually everyone that's watching, I want you guys to be VA employees. Make sure that you research the VA. Make sure that you know as much as you can about the VA, because that may be a question from your interview panel. But the biggest thing is make sure you're able to answer questions. Now, you don't have to answer them quick. There's no hiring manager will fault you if they ask you a question. You need to take a second or a few seconds to kind of gather your thoughts. But you need to be able to take that question that the hiring manager is asking you or someone on an interview panel, be able to clearly kind of figure out your answer and be able to articulate that answer. Make sure that you answer the question, because I've sat on some interviews where we've asked candidates questions and they gave us a big knowledgeable spiel about the question, but they didn't necessarily answer the question itself. So again, the best thing you can do if you're trying to get in the workforce, especially if you just got out of college or you're getting ready to graduate college within the next year or two, is start practicing how to interview. All right. So with that being said, I just want to say, always stay positive. If you're just getting out of college or you're about to graduate and you don't have any real relevant work experience, don't feel like you won't be able to get a job. But you have to prepare yourself, because even though you're just getting out of college, when you apply for a job here at VA, you're competing against all type of applicants. You're competing against other recent graduates. You're competing against those that have a lot of work experience. You're competing with those that have lots of work experience and higher education. You're competing with a lot of people. So you have to make sure that wherever, no matter what background you're in, you have to make yourself seem like you're the most attractive candidate for that position. So I hope that was able to help, and I will see if I can answer a few questions that you guys have put in the comment section. All right. Let's see. We have, let's see. Do you have tips on finding an entry-level HR position? Yes. Go to USA Jobs or VA Careers, and I would say search Human Resources Assistant. Again, go to the VA Careers website. Go to the employment side, the job search, job search section. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so lost for words today. But go to the job search section, type in Human Resources Assistant. And if you type in Human Resources Assistant, you'll be able to find a lot of entry-level HR Human Resources positions. And I know that some of you have been asking about the HR Star program. That's another good program to get into. Unfortunately, the HR Star program is still around, but the next announcement may not be coming out till closer to the end of the year, maybe in the beginning of the next calendar year. So December, January timeframe. So if you're looking to get into HR Star, I know normally we have an announcement that comes out in October, but I think that from the last meeting that I was in, it got pushed back until maybe December or January. So it is going to come back this fiscal year, but it's going to start probably later this year or early next year. So just be on the lookout. But in the meantime, you don't have to wait for HR Star. There are a lot of human resources positions open here at VA. And if you have what the hiring manager is looking for, you can definitely be picked and hired and selected for any of those HR positions. All right. Let's see. What should you? So we have a question. What from Yolanda? What should you do differently if you are being referred and not getting an interview? All right. So there's a lot of reasons why you can get referred and not be selected for an interview. A lot of times hiring managers may get a couple of dozen resumes that are referred to them, but they only want to maybe interview 5 people. So let's say I'm a hiring manager and I'm trying to select someone for this position. So HR sends me over 25 applications. All right. But I can only interview 5 people. So then we have to go through another round of grading applications to pick out the best 5 people. So the best thing I would say is make sure your resume is tailored. Again, when I say tailored to your resume, don't just go and copy and paste. Don't just go and just plug in words from the job announcement to your resume. Make sure that you tailor your resume to show that you are the candidate that this hiring manager is looking for. So what you have to do, you just have to read. Again, you don't have to use the same words. You don't have to, obviously you don't want to copy and paste, because as a hiring manager, we can tell if you just copy and pasted a job announcement, but you want to be able to, in your own words, from that job announcement, in your own words, you need to put that on your resume and clearly articulate that you are the best person for that job announcement, not for that job title, but that job announcement. I know a lot of times we may apply for 5 and 6, 7, maybe 10 jobs with the same job title, but you're not applying for the job title. You're applying for the position that's in the job announcement. So don't just look at the job title and submit a resume. Make sure you read and make sure you know what that hiring manager is looking for. And even if because sometimes you can get referred because you fit, you're eligible for that job title, but when the hiring manager starts grading to see who they're going to interview, your resume may not clearly articulate that you're the perfect person that they want from what they put on that job announcement. So, Yolanda, I hope that was able to help you. So, with that being said, we are at the bottom of the hour. I am out of time. I'm sorry, but again, we will go through your questions and comments. Maybe some of your questions will be featured in the future Talk About It Tuesday segment. If not, we'll be able to go through those comments and questions today or throughout the week and kind of answer those in the comment section. So with that being said, again, we had our question of the day, which was centered around Halloween. It's a 2-part question. Part 1 of that question is, what is your favorite Halloween costume? whether it's something that you've wearing this year or something that you've wore in the past. And the second part of that question is, what is your favorite scary movie? And there it is. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Be safe tonight if you are doing any Halloween events, because as always, we want to see you. We want to make sure that we see you next week. So with that being said, be safe. We appreciate you watching us week in and week out. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, come back and see us on next week. With that being said, I'm Mike Owens, National Recruiter with the Veterans Health Administration, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great day.